Hey, you guys might call it complaining. I would rather say bringing constructive conversation to those in charge of my local courses. Or I guess bitching works too. This week, both my home leagues decided to ruin a perfectly good night and create additional rules. Back in my day, we would just throw the damn frisbees to the basket in the fewest amount of tosses possible. The wildest we would get is maybe use the long pads. Now all of a sudden we have to incorporate alternate or worse shot. I'm confused on why I'm getting punished for my good throws, but you better believe I have some words to say, and they're not gonna be nice. Nate Dogg, you know I love you, so don't take this personally, but playing alt shot was a worse decision than whatever the hell is going through Jake's head when deciding to bag these shitty discs. But we'll get to that in a second. I appreciate that you wanted to switch things up and keep it fresher than the Fresh Prince, but I'll be the guy who says what everyone else was thinking. Why the fuck would anyone want to do this? If we wanted a new idea, we could have came up with about 8 other better ones. And half the time it took for someone to think of alternate doubles too. It's kind of like bagging a buzz. Feels right at first, then you realize you're bagging a buzz. My first and biggest problem with playing alternate dubs is I'm paying the same amount to throw half the shots. In this economy? Are you crazy? Don't get me wrong, I love getting creative, but I will always be opposed to ideas that put more pressure on the lower pool of players. The reason we split based on skill level is not only to make it more fair for everyone, but also to alleviate some of that pressure or anger one might feel after a poor shot, because you have a partner to bail you out after all. And well, if you both miss, there isn't really a reason anyone can complain. But now, if someone makes a mistake, all the blame is put on them, with no chance of redemption. To make it even worse, in the format of this alternate doubles, that botched 5-foot putt not only gives up an easy stroke, but now you wasted your partner's turn. Now people aren't just throwing half the shots, but some of those were literally tap-ins. Not too fun. I suggest if anyone makes the poor decision to ever run alternate shot, that bullseyes don't count. Well, unless they miss, then you gotta count it. This way, people's turns aren't getting skipped for shots that cardmates would pick up in a sanctioned round. Come on, we all do it. Or you could go with the classic and alternate the person who drives every tee pad. That way, at least you know you're getting 9 drives. Still worth complaining about, but at least better. Alright, it's been bad enough I have to watch Jake mess up these shots, but I have to see the horrible disc selection he's been making too. I got no choice but to roast the fuck out of this stuff. I don't care for partners. If I could even call you that. Why would someone voluntarily putt with Prodigy? Feels icky to even say. And I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Throwing the same mold as your putting putter is a sin. Hey, I don't make the rules. It's in the Bible. Ask Disc Golf Jesus. The dart is so fat, I'm not sure how it doesn't fall right out of the sky. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to rub the belly of a dart. At least you're smart enough to know envies are for throwing and not putting. The proxy is cool. Everyone is on this MVP putter gang, but I'm not ready to jump in yet. What do I look like? A hipster lumberjack? Oh, my bad. But that's what you get for another fucking Prodigy disc. Drew might let the A5 slide, but you don't have a Grimace dyed on yours, so I can't approve of that saw blade. Just like every other basic bitch, my guy Jake has a buzz right next to his pumpkin spice. Well, look at that. There is some brain still left in there. Or it's just that obvious that you should have a Buzz SS in the bag. Probably gonna go with that second option after seeing a Rolo in here. Although, it's kinda good for the people that don't have a forehand. And I'm including those 150-foot throwers you like to pull out every once in a while. You know, I thought I couldn't get much worse than bagging a Gator. Then I saw there was a thing called the Gator 3. You're a fucking idiot for throwing the it. Sorry, but it's as simple as that. Jake likes to piss me off with some of the worst choices he could make and then following it up with something I love. The T-Bird 3 is a quick way to get back on my good side. I can't hate on the Sidewinder too much, and as much as I would like to shit on the Hawkeye, I think these are both manageable discs I could see being sneaky workhorses for you. Same goes with the Thunderbird. It just happens to be a top 5 most boring disc ever made. I could say similar things about the Firebird, but come on. It's fantastic. Other discs go to bed at night dreaming to one day be a Firebird, especially all those FD3s made before the Swedish Chef took over. Hopefully that PD is the Innova made one too. Who am I kidding? That would be thinking way too much of you. Wait a second. You do have a Wraith, which I hope comes out more than this fucking Destroyer, but I'll just hope you have it for something you need to fade hard. Or Headwinds, which better be the only reason I see this Halo Destroyer over here. But I have high hopes since you got the Scorpius, which is supposedly an old Destroyer mold back when they were a tad bit more understable. Then you have this Rive here. Not too sure why, but you should probably just toss it in the trash if you were smart. Ah, yeah, you're right. Clearly you aren't after seeing what discs you bag. I might have had to watch Jake's shitty discs, but we took second place. So I promise I'm not bitching because I'm upset about our score. Still got that $15 profit. Too bad this wasn't the only shitty change I had to experience this week. Nope, for some reason, everyone wanted to get fancy. Which then I found myself playing worst shot doubles, but only on the even holes, so only half bad, I guess. I was partnered with Amanda, which was pretty solid, besides the fact she only threw Discmania, and it was on purpose. Yes, I asked to make sure. Holding your disc selection hostage must be in the family. That joke makes way more sense if you've seen the episode I roast Trevor's bag. You can watch that one right here. After you finish this one, of course. Again, I'm going back to the idea of why am I being punished for throwing good shots, and there never being a reason to apply more pressure on the self-proclaimed lower players. Feels really weird to separate people by skill set just to take away the advantage given to them to level the playing field. But sure, just say I'm bitching while I speak up for those antisocial disc golfers that don't want to use their outside voice to express their issues. I use my platform for you guys, because honestly, I didn't play all that bad in this league either. Second place in both. I guess if the plan was to stop letting me take first, you guys succeeded. Between the two of the formats, I preferred the worst shot doubles. Probably because Amanda was making me keep up all around, which is good to have in this scenario. I think I ended up giving up more strokes too, but I'm not dumb enough to say that out loud. But this also brings up another major problem in my head. You tell me what's the so-called worst shot in this scenario. Amanda's random-ass tomahawk that tries its hardest to go down the fairway? Or my shot that was blasted to the shit off to the left? Seems pretty subjective at this point, and you're an idiot if you think I'm gonna walk all the way up this hill just to be told to walk back down. The decision was made that my disc was worse, which seems fucked up to say as I'm jump putting for eagle dodging a few branches. But a 200-foot hyzer is also not that hard. So that's where the issue comes up. What is worse? There's no definite call here, and there's no way the team that threw it should be the one making the call. You know why? Because they should lie. Yeah, it's a fucking competition. No reasonable person's gonna punish themselves. Have you seen some of these so-called Texas flips? This wasn't the only time something like this came up either. On another par 4, Amanda threw her upshot quite a bit short, so I decided I had nothing to lose and chucked a massive forehand, not really giving a fuck where it ended up. Well, it was off in the tall weeds, but still pin high, while Amanda still had a throw left on hers. On paper, mine's not on the fairway, which theoretically is a worse shot than the one that, is on the fairway. But I've never been one to complain about some bush in my face, so I understand the decision this time. Come on though, you gotta see what I'm talking about at least, right? Let me know down below if you guys like when your club adds extra challenges to spice things up, because sometimes missionary gets boring. Your lady will thank me later. That's for all three of you watching that actually talk to women. If you haven't caught the drift, I'm personally not a fan of gimmicks that directly punish my good shots. Anytime I throw a good shot, it should be eligible to be used. I would like all control of the money I put in the pot. Now, if the stipulation before the round was I could only use 4 discs, I would be totally okay with that, because every person would be faced with the same rule set, and I still get every opportunity to use each of my shots as I throw them. Are these completely niche issues that only 1% of people are going to even pretend to give a shit about? Probably, but that's what Berdogie's all about, allowing me to complain for 10 minutes. Or what did I call it? Constructive something or whatever? Who cares? I'll get back to making dick jokes about frisbees now. But I do take this as an opportunity to not only directly talk to the leaders of my clubs. Hi guys, I know you're watching, so hopefully you've been taking notes. But this is the only way I can get a massive message to other people in charge across the country, because I promise when the only way to combat a shitty idea is comment on a social media post, it shouldn't be a surprise that no one stands up. And I'm not going to be the one that does it, because I'm not trying to look like the one selfish prick. Nah, instead, I'll take the arrogant douchebag approach and make a silly YouTube video bitching about it like anyone's still watching. However, if you aren't too stoned, I hope you could understand the frustration throughout the round, not just from me, but all parties. I would rather have upper players against best shot from the lowers, or uppers can only throw putters. What about lowers play the shorts and uppers play the longs? All those formats I would enjoy because the element of competition is still there and I can directly be the reason affecting my score. Maybe I can see why people think I talk shit for no reason, but come on, I'd be partners with someone putting with P8 threes. You can't blame me that much. I'll always do my best to use my voice for the everyday disc golfer and the common man struggles that arise from weekly leagues. The polecat terrier, if you will. Shout out Jake for letting me roast his bag, although your discs already do a pretty good job at that for you. Also, thanks to Amanda for holding down the team on this stupid ass format. If it weren't for you, I would have a lot meaner words to say, but we played much better than I expected walking in. Let me know in the comments how you feel about switching up the formats at your local leagues, and drop your favorite thing to change down below. Maybe then I can suggest some better ideas. I just started a Berdogi Instagram that I'll be posting on over there, so if you wanted to be featured in a video, go check that bad boy out. I was also thinking of starting a group chat of sorts for all you disc degenerates so we can send each other disc pics. Not sure what the best option for that would be, but if anyone's good at building Discord servers or shit, hit your boy up. Alright, that's enough for me today. Go check out this video about the most boring discs you could possibly bag if you wanted to hear me talk some more shit.
Oh my god. You love to see that. Big suck. Holy fuck.
Well, it still counts the same. Nice dues.
Thanks, Dave. Shit. Dave gave us one. Ooh, that's like, damn, you suck. But for me, I like